Hello and welcome to the Practical PM, your friend, philosopher and guide to product management. This is the first episode and here is what we will do. We will start by looking at products from users' perspective because all of us have used the products, we have used a lot of them in our daily lives and we all have opinions on them. So that is an easy place for us to get started on. Then we will see how users' interactions with products translate into a framework that product managers can use to ensure the success of the product. In the episode, whenever I take examples, I will assume that the product in question is an app. However, the principles discussed are equally applicable to the web products as well as cross-platform products. Cool? Let's get started. What is a successful product? A successful product is one that works for its users and that works for a large enough set of users. How do you know that a product is working for the users and what does that translate into for the people managing the product? Let's take an example of an e-commerce app. If an e-commerce app is working for you, what do? You use it often to order lots of stuff, right? So the way a product manager managing an e-commerce app would know that the app is working is if they receive large number of orders from a large number of customers on the app. That brings us to our first important concept, that of a North Star metric. A North Star metric for a product is a metric that clearly indicates that the users are deriving value out of the product, and it is a good indicator of the revenue the company can expect to make from the product either immediately or in medium to long term depending on the nature of the product. So in an e-commerce app, we saw that when users derive value out of it, when it is working for them, they place lot of orders. So a North Star metric for an e-commerce app can be number of orders received per day. Let's try to understand this better by taking another example, that of a content app, where you can probably read a lot of articles or watch a lot of videos. If this app is working for you, you would spend a good amount of time every day consuming content from the app. So what could be the North Star metric for an app like this? It could be the number of articles read per day or hours of videos watched per day, or in a generic sense, simply the amount of time spent on the app per day. Hope that makes sense. Now, the mandate of the product teams is to keep moving this North Star metric in the right direction. How do they do that? Let's again go back to what does it look like from user's perspective. How did you reach a stage where you started using the e-commerce app to place more and more orders, or using the content app to consume more and more content? At some point of time, you would have learned about the app, probably from an online ad, probably from a social media link, from a friend or a newspaper article, or while searching on the Play Store, any of this stuff. You were curious enough to go ahead and install the app and even sign up on it. Then you browsed around and decided to give the app a try. In the e-commerce app, you tried it by placing the first order, probably of an item which was cheap enough so that even if the entire experience went kaput, you wouldn't mind the loss. In the content app, you tried by reading a few articles or watching a few videos. If the experience was good, you went back to the app, you placed more orders on the e-commerce app, and you consumed more content on the content app. That seems right. Now, there are other users who stopped at some point of time at one of these stages. Perhaps they never responded to the ads and never installed the app, or they installed the app but were never persuaded enough to place the first order, or the first order was placed but never a second order. There might be some others who may still be going back to the app and placing some order once in a while, but not too many. Now the product team needs to ensure that more and more people fall into the bracket that you were in. That is, they keep coming back to the app and they keep using it. More people should not be in the second bracket where people stopped at some point of time. The product team needs to ensure that it brings a large number of users to its products, then that most of them at least try the product, then that most of them keep coming back to the app, and then they need to ensure that when they come back to the app, they use it a lot, use it multiple times. Now, this is a life cycle of the customer and these are various stages. Each of these stages need to be managed, and these can be extracted out for a large number of products in one is acquisition, then activation, then retention, and then engagement. Now let's go over them one by one. Acquisition means bringing users to your products. For example, running an ad and driving them to either install or even sign up on your app. Activation means that the user has engaged with your product meaningfully at least once. What we have been calling trying the product. For example, in the e-commerce app, activation could mean placing the first order or even placing first 5 orders. In the content app, activation could mean reading 3 articles or let's say watching 15 minutes of videos, right? These 2 stages are mostly concerned with new users. The next 2 stages are about managing the existing users. For the existing users, you want to ensure that they keep coming back to your product. That is retention. And when they do come back, they should be using the product a lot. Whatever it is that they are supposed to be doing in the product, they should be doing a lot of it or at least doing it up to optimal number of times. That is engagement. In an e-commerce app, retention could mean that the user is coming back to place at least 1 order in a month. Engagement would mean that when they come back, they place lots of orders. So they place lots of orders in any month. For the content app, retention could mean that the user is at least opening the app every day. Engagement would mean reading a lot of articles every day or watching several hours of videos every day, right? Now let us get into some details and how each of these are measured. First, we have the related stages of acquisition and activation. For acquisition, you typically have 2 metrics which you measure and which you take target on. One is the number of users that you are acquiring in any given period, and second is the cost of acquiring those users or customer acquisition cost or CAC. Now CAC is a simple concept. It simply means the amount you spent on acquisition in a given period divided by number of users acquired in that period. That is cost per acquired users. So if you spend $1,000 in a week and you acquire 20 users in that week, then your cost of acquisition is $1,000 by 20, that is $50. Now when you take targets on these metrics, typically you want to of course increase the number of users that are coming to your platform to ensure the growth of the product. At the same time, you want to ensure that cost of acquisition remains low and probably goes even lower. Now anybody who has worked on acquisition will tell you that these 2 metrics conflict with each other. When you try to increase the number of users you are acquiring, CAC tends to shoot up. So when you are working in acquisition, you regularly need to devise strategies so that you keep acquiring more and more users without going berserk on cost of acquisition. Now let's come to activation. Activation is typically measured by the number of users who reach the activation action within a certain period of time from being acquired. So number of users activated within set period divided by number of users acquired. Going back to the example of e-commerce app, let's say that our definition of activation is placing 1 order within a day of acquisition. So if 100 users were acquired in a day and 40 of them placed an order within the next day, then the activation rate is 40%. In case of content app, we can define activation by reading 3 articles within 6 hours of acquisition. So if there were 100 users who were acquired and 50 of them read 3 articles within next 6 hours, then your rate of activation is 50%. Now before moving on, there is something about these stages, especially acquisition, that I want to point out. Traditionally, acquisition is considered a purely marketing task. You run ads or you do some awesome SEO or some influencer marketing or affiliate marketing, and you drive traffic to your product, you get people to install it or sign up on it. Marketing, right? But in the modern tech products, it's not a purely marketing role. Product has a significant role to play in acquisition and even more so in activation. One of the reasons is that in case of acquisition, increasingly we do not measure cost of acquisition by cost per 1,000 impressions or even cost per click. That is measured on product metrics like installation, sign up, or even activation metrics. And the reason we would want to do that is obvious. It is the users who actually start using your product, who get activated, who have any chance of adding value to the business or the product in the long term. So they are the users who matter, and cost of acquiring them is what you want to optimize on. Increasingly, marketing and advertising platforms also allow you to optimize your campaigns on down the funnel matrix. So install signups and even activation matrix come in handy there. So a product that improves the sign-up rates or improves the activation rates helps bring down the cost of acquisition. Now there can be product driven strategies for acquisition also, but we will discuss those at a later time. Now let us move on to see how we measure retention and engagement. Now again, going back to our example, in case of e-commerce app, we said that a user is retained if they come back in a month to place an order. So at an aggregate level, we will measure month on month retention. If in the first month 100 people placed at least one order, and in the second month 40 out of these 100 placed an order, then your month on month retention is 40%. Now there is something important I want to point out here. In the month 2, there might be other users other than these 40 who would have placed orders, but they were not among the 100 who had placed the order in the previous month. So they do not count for month on month retention calculation. For the retention calculation, these 40 are strictly a subset of these 100, right? Now taking the similar example for content app, in this case we said that daily app open is the retention action. So if on the first day 100 people opened the app, and on the second day out of these 100, 60 opened the app, then your day on day retention is 60%. And like in the previous example, these 60 are strictly a subset of these 100. Other users may have opened the app on day 2. They do not matter for day on day retention calculation here. Okay. Now for engagement, we will look at the frequency or the amount of the same matrix. In e-commerce app, we said that if people come back and place at least one order, they are retained. But how engaged they are, that is something we find out by looking at how many orders they placed. So a good way of measuring engagement is number of orders per user per month. Similarly, for the content app, we said that if users open the app at least once a day, then they are retained. But how do we know that they are engaged? That is if they read a large number of articles. So a measure for engagement is number of articles read per user per day. I hope that makes sense, and this was all about measurement and matrix. So now that you know about them, as a product manager, you should always ensure that you are aware of the North Star metric of your product, and also which of these different stages you are focusing on. Depending on the maturity of the product or the company, one or more of these stages may be more important. For example, if you are an entrepreneur or the founding team member of a startup team, and you are about to launch the first version of your product, then at this stage, if you are worrying about gamification features for retention and engagement, it's probably not the right time to worry about that. For the first version of your product, you first want to ensure that people are at least buying into the basic value proposition you are going out with. So your first and immediate problems are acquisition and activation. Because if people do not come to your app, or if they do not even try your product, who will you retain or engage, right? But if the product is even slightly more mature, then it is likely that different members of the product team are focusing on the problems of these different stages. So you should make sure that you are clear about what are you working on and accordingly solve the problems. Now, knowing this may be more important than you may realize. If you ask people, right, anybody, a user of a product, about how they will improve that product, they typically come up with a large number of ideas. It could be something as simple as changing the font or color or spacing, to introducing a large number of new features, or even completely revamping the product. But as a product manager, that is a haphazard way of thinking about product improvement. When you are asked to improve a product, you must first ask back, what does the improvement mean? Is it supposed to acquire more people? Is it supposed to activate them faster? Is it supposed to retain them better? Or is it supposed to engage them more? And only with that clear objective, you should figure out what does the improvement look like. Alright, that is all for the episode 1. Before finishing, I will just do a quick recap. Every product typically has a North Star metric, And the way to move that North Star metric is for the product team to acquire more users, activate them faster, retain them better, and engage them more and more. And as a product manager, you should be aware of what are you focusing on and accordingly decide what you want to change. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. Do tune into the next episodes as well.